Hello, glad to have you join us on Nation. I'm Ruth Aguilera. Commuters coming into the Federal Capital Territory's man had a time getting into the city center due to gridlocks in all entrances at the access from Lugbe. Now, this delayed many from reaching their offices and places of businesses on time.
I'm very close to my office, but there's no road to enter my office. A journey of just minutes. I ended up making 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Before we could get here, it was just a long kind of walk and trek. We trekked for like a very long period of time.
Frivolous alleged intimidation of judges and judgments delivered on grounds of utilities are some of the challenges impeding the war against corruption in Nigeria. President Tinubu, represented by Kashim, stated this while declaring open the 7th Financial Crimes Commission at the National Judicial Institute capacity for judiciaries. State House correspondent Manjabrila.
7th in the series is a meeting of two reliable partners expected to exchange ideas to ensure the prevention of corruption and administration of justice, to build public trust, governance, and justice in the fight against economic and financial crime.
This is by the trend in which some judges issue orders to apprehend the powers of the Commission to investigate money laundering cases. So it is established that as an outside purview, more worrisome is the fact that most of those decisions are made ex parte. Even where the Commission appeals, there are no restraints in making contest decisions against it.
We must remain active and adaptive, ensuring that the law continues to keep pace with the innovations that criminals exploit. The judiciary remains the last line of defense against impunity. The fight against economic and financial crimes cannot succeed if the judiciary falters. Each ruling, each judgment carries implications that extend far beyond the courtroom. They either strengthen or weaken the people's faith in the capacity of the law to hold all persons accountable.
Fighting requires political will and the three arms of government to create strong fiscal institutions that promote integrity, stability, and growth.
We have prioritized accountability, supporting them the needed independence to execute their activities. This enabling environment is evident in the impact that has been made in the last 2 years. The EFCC, for 1,000 convictions in the first 2 years of the present administration, and recovered proceeds back into the economy to fund critical social investment programs, students' loan schemes.
Independent enforcement community and where these stand united, no portraits of corruption can stand.
At the end of this engagement, issues of misuse of security votes, justice administration, and other collective actions in winning the war against economic and financial crimes in Nigeria are addressed. In Abuja, Abrahman Jibrila.
A look at electoral matters. The National is advancing the amendments to the Electoral Act towards enhancing efficiency, inclusivity, and credibility in future elections. Gaston Enti's good reiterates the proposed changes, also seeking to shorten the litigation timeline following elections, ensuring quicker resolution of disputes. Lydia Sampson reports.
Provisions, they believe, will allow eligible voters in correctional centers to participate, expanding democratic inclusion. The amendment is also proposing introduction of early voting for election officials and
a situation whereby INEC, police, and NSCDC, all of the security agents legislated must have that committee.
Do all the amendments you want to do today. If one man sits and decides to sabotage the system, everything will come to naught. So I'm more concerned about the operators of the system. We have to really prove those who take up positions.
laudable amendment is, guests also want strengthening of the human factors by bringing to book election violations to serve as deterrent. They re-echoed the need for robust funding of INEC towards genuine independence.
Well, since what is being amended is an act of the National Assembly and not the Constitution itself, it doesn't require passage or approval by the different state House Assembly.
Just the appeal courts to let us know what and what actually leads to some of these contradicting judgments.
Additionally, the guests want the Independent National Electoral Commission to adopt scan code verification where permanent voter cards fail as part of efforts at strengthening voter authentication. These measures collectively, they note, will modernize Nigeria's process and reinforce public trust. In Abuja, Lydia.
So the Anambra governorship registration reveals that over 9,000 have been ahead of that election. Correspondent now Benson but what's the level of preparedness, going by what we're hearing, people going in for registration?
Thank you and welcome to Awka, capital city of Anambra State. Records from INEC shows that a total of 9,763 youths registered for the upcoming November 8th governorship elections. In Anambra State, the figures represent 56.7% of voters. This goes to show that young people are gaining momentum in the area of voter process, especially with the ongoing awareness campaign, encouraging eligible voters to collect their PVs involved in the process. The latest happening in the state showed that across the 26 political wards or registration centers in the communities of the 21 local government areas of the state, youth groups, civil society organizations, and advocacy are holding town hall meetings and sensitization drives, not only to mobilize participation, but also to preach against buying, electoral violence, and vote buying. Not just the Electoral Act, but the Constitution 1999 as amended. In the course of the youths are urging the umpire, the electoral umpire, is to what they describe as an unacceptable of technical glitches seen in the past polls. They are all in school, especially the national orientation media and community outreach to sustain the growth enthusiasm among these. This seat of power here in the three-arm zone, Anambra State, just right behind me here, is gaining momentum, and the place of the youth in the or tilting the vote pattern cannot be overemphasized. Right here from
State, it's good to see that the youths key into the process. But outside the shores of Nigeria, the Economic Community of West African States has named foreign professor ahead of its election observation mission. What was President Festa Ochiba lead a team of African observers to ensure a peaceful and credible electoral process. Guided by the ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy Governance, will operate with observer groups. This deployment highlights commitment to fostering peace, stability, and across the region. Time to get latest news from Join Hengino.
You that as media practitioners continue to work towards navigating digital search, this year's edition of AfriCast, scheduled to hold between Tuesday 1st and Friday the 24th of 2025, is focusing on building a resilient African media ecosystem that leverages technology to enhance storytelling and distribution. Ajale, who interacted with some delegates at the venue in Lagos, reports that the event is expected to spotlight innovations, power growth, and investment in the communications landscape.
Since its inception, and broadcast policy conferred 25 editions in its series is expected to feature and master class tailored building and industry knowledge.
We here really to local companies and TV stations to be able to build partnership with them. So we're expecting to meet more local medias.
Broadcasting is all everywhere. We have the smart apps, so we are supposed to be available on the devices. So this is what we are here, you know, to get contacts and also to get more proximity with our viewers.
The project coordinator speaks more on AfriCast 2025.
Around AfriCast promises to be all-inclusive. It's beyond it being content market, and we're trying to bring in some. They are not the usual. You can choose graphics, people from the AfriCast conversation to go beyond just Africa.
This is an international conference edition that brings together manufacturing, broadcasting, and film equipment products and services, aiming to expand their reach throughout Africa. In Lagos, Diana Charlie, NTA News.
And family history, smoking, and excessive alcohol intake have been identified as some of the risk factors. Prostate cancer is not a death sentence. 100% cure if detected early. Experts re-emphasized this at a prostate cancer awareness campaign, which featured free oral health medical outreach for residents of in the Lekki community of Lekki, Lagos State. Diana, a complete report.
They are always out working at night, ensuring to cater to their family needs. But how many men go for medical checks?
I have never been at any hospital for medical checkup.
This is the first time seeing where they organize
in this narrative, the executive of Lekki Local Council Development Area, Rasaki Bamidele Kasali, is not only leading the quest, but also took advantage of the free medical outreach.
Majority of the men have died through this prostrate, and we have many of our people in the communities. They should know their state to treat. We give thanks to His Excellency, the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria,
Let's save our men too. Do you understand? And this is very novel.
Aside regular tests being carried out, free distribution of various anti-malaria medicines and other medications, This free medical outreach is tailored towards saving Nigerian men from prostate cancer and oral health challenge.
Most of our men don't get screened early, so when they are coming in, they're already in their age. But with programs like this, the moment we detect it, we send them to referral centers, they get treatments early, we can cure it.
We are not only doing the dental screening, we are also doing skin and polishing.
I implore our people in Lekki LCDA to continue this kind of medical checkup.
Although the focus was on men, the women were not left out, as they also took advantage of the oral health services at the 2-day free medical out, which has effect saving our men, protecting and preserving smiles. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos for now. More reports after the break from Maiduguri.
Heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Hope Uzodima's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. The sky over deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new is on the rise.
Recorded of reforms with a slow nation in focus on NTA Tuesday Live on the 21st October 2025. Join the deliberations as Nigeria bounces back to economic recovery, evident in food items become more affordable for all Nigerians. NTA Tuesday Live every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Tuesday Live, educative and incisive as ever.
What do you need?
Guys, food is ready.
To impress. Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about you every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introduce Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Good food, no worries.
Guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
But Abuja, the city is moving. Voices, heavy drip, all heart. From the streets to the stage, this is the next Afrobeat star. What are we here for? Let's Afrobeat star. Let's and the talents from all over showed up on the road. All chasing a slot to face the judges. Puffy T, SARS, Vibes, P Pride. Catch next Afrobeat star on.
Joining us, this is Maiduguri. Following the recent terror attack on security personnel in Bama local government area, which claimed the lives of several gallant officers in the line of duty, the state government has taken decisive steps to honor their courage and sacrifice. These men gave their lives in the pursuit of peace and the protection of others. Omar Jumbarima reports.
A high-powered delegation from the state government, led by the Secretary to the State Government, Bukar Tijani, and accompanied by the Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Professor Usman Tar, Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, as well as other key stakeholders, visited the Shehu of Bama at his palace to offer their sympathies before proceeding to the victims, to commiserate with the injured, and extend heartfelt condolences to the families of those who lost lives, believing that the friendship brings comfort and unity to the bereaved.
Members of the civilian JTF, volunteers and hunters, some of who were those that were formed up. We gingered them up. We told them that the fight against insurgency is a national sacrifice, it's a national honor, and they should bear the badge of honor with pride.
The Commissioner for Information and Internal Security reaffirmed the Borno State government's commitment to collaborate with the armed forces and other security agencies, as well emphasized the government's readiness to ensure that every citizen enjoys the dividends of peace and security. To support the grieving families, food items and cash relief were distributed through the State Emergency Management Agency to help ease their burdens and provide some comfort during these trying times, as well reassured the families that they remain in the hearts and minds of the state government now and always. In Maiduguri, Umar Jumbarima, NTA News.
The Senate of the Girl Child and Women's Support is calling for continued effort to promote girls' leadership in every sphere of community life. The call came during an event in Maiduguri marking the 2025 International Day of the Girl Child. Angarju Anagawa reports.
The event with the theme, The Girl I Am, The Change I Lead, Girls on the Front Lines of Crisis, brought together young girls, parents, teachers and development partners to reflect on the challenges and strengths of girls growing up in post-insurgency communities. Implemented under the Supporting Sustainability, Social Protection, Participation and Economic Resilience in the Northeast Nigerian program, the initiative is supported by GIZ, Commission German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, and co-founded by the European Union. Speakers at the event highlighted the need for more opportunities for girls to lead, learn and contribute meaningfully to rebuilding their communities, called on government and stakeholders to ensure policies that protect and advance the rights of girl child.
Looking at Borno State has suffered over a decade-long insurgency. We know we have a lot of problem that has to do, that was further perpetuated by the crisis. So we are trying to see how we can raise awareness, advocate.
In situations of conflict, girls tend to be more affected. And this effect on them give them more opportunity to understand the conflict, and they can help us with their own perspective in search for solution.
The gathering featured the presentation on life after insurgency, panel discussions on gender barriers, and breakout sessions where girls shared their dreams and ideas for change. Participants described the event as inspiring and noting that empowering girls means empowering entire communities. In Maiduguri, Angarju Anagawa, NTA News.
Those are the trending stories from here for now. Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja. Ruth, is back to you.
Many thanks, Ladidi. The Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, has directed the Muslim Ummah to look for the new moon of Jumaddal Ula 1447 after Hijrah on Tuesday, October 21, 2025, which corresponds to the 29th day of Rabi'ul Asani 1447 after Hijrah. This directive was contained in a statement signed by the Chairman, Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Sokoto, Professor Sambo Wali Junaidu, Wazir in Sokoto. The statement proclaims to begin the search for the new crescent on Tuesday evening and report any sighting to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan. The Chairman CEO of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman, has inaugurated the Aviation Monitoring Committee for the 2026 Hajj exercise at the Commission's board room in Abuja. The chairman charged the newly inaugurated committee to function as the gatekeepers entrusted with the critical mandate of undertaking transparent and impartial monitoring of all aviation matters. He made it clear that the committee is a functional, non-decorative body, reflecting the Commission's zero tolerance for failure and its core commitment to pilgrims' welfare. Professor Usman urged the members to carry out their duties with the highest level of integrity, patriotism and professionalism, reminding them that the eyes of millions of Nigerian Muslims are upon them, and express confidence in the collective expertise of the committees. In other news, the People's Republic of China headed the government for the successful rescue of 4 of its citizens kidnapped in Kwara State. Now, the rescue operation jointly carried out by the National Security Advisor, the Department of State Services, the Nigerian Army and the police led to the safe recovery of the Chinese nationals. At the formal handover of the victims in Abuja, Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Dunhei, represented by the consul Wang Jun, lauded the Nigerian security agencies, particularly the DSS, for their swift, intelligence-led response. He also commended the service for providing first-rate medical attention to the rescued individuals at its medical facility in Abuja.
All the Department of Nigeria do their best to rescue our citizens. As you know, last year, just His Excellency, the President Tinubu, just visited China. 2 country leaders just reach agreement, just upgrade the 2 countries' relations. And this time, I think it's certificate the Nigerian people just do very great for the people. We are just good friends there. Just know we just if we have some problem, just we talk with the Nigerian government. They do their best.
The 8 miners were reportedly ambushed by a gang of bandits on their way to a mining site in Saminaka village, Yagba West local government area of Kogi State. Meanwhile, nationwide operations against criminal syndicates recently recorded breakthroughs, including the interception of arms and ammunition in the state, a development widely praised as a testament to its commitment and public safety. The project remains one of the major steps taken by the Rivers State government to achieve ease of doing business. But the slow pace of work in the last 6 months has, however, caused untold residents with the recent commitment to constructed site. Residents are optimistic of speedy completion of the project. State. Kinsley, an update now.
The ruling, no doubt, affected the pace of ongoing projects in the state. However, hope is rising for residents and the motoring public for the timely completion projects. Effective aviation. This time, Governor Fubara is at the Eneka axis of the 62.65 kilometers Port Harcourt Ring Road to appraise the ongoing project. He told newsmen that he has obtained commitment from the contractor, pledging that the state government will provide the needed funding.
For lack of fund, the contractor withdrew from the site. So we've been discussing with them, and they gave me the award that although we have not finished all the discussion, but they will move into site, and I'm here to confirm that. Let me make this promise to our good people of Rivers State. This project that we started, by the special grace of God, we're going to complete it.
The road inspection, which is the third in the series of inspection visits, was greeted with cheers from residents. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
All right, let's join Kingsley live this time around. Kingsley, you were part of that inspection with the governor and, of course, given his promises there in that report we saw. I'm sure you felt the pulse of the people, so how emphatic are they?
I will start by saying that the cheers from the public, you know how expectant the residents of Port Harcourt and, of course, the entire Rivers State are expectant to see these projects come to fruition. The Port Harcourt Ring Road is a very key project that cuts across 6 local government areas. And you know what that would mean economically, and also of movement of agricultural produce from the hinterland to the urban center. Aside from the Port Harcourt Ring Road, the government went further to direct other contractors in the state to go back to site. You know, within the period of the emergency road time, the project sites were almost at a standstill. Nothing was actually going on outside across the state. But with the return to the democratic governance, we have seen contractors moving back to their various project sites. We are also at one of the project sites. You could see behind me work on at this side of the ring is the of the ring road. Beside that, even in the hinterland, a community is also going on. The various aspects that we have been awarded by the state government. We got a call from one of the communities we actually did during the time of that emergency rule, that is in Omua local government area. The report that we was the time of that community having access road, but someone called me from that community to say that also be moist to their community to start work. You could see the excitement from the people of Rivers State that work has actually resumed across various project sites, and the governor is taking proactive steps by visiting those sites to ensure that contractors are keeping up to pace. And of course, the issue of funding, he has given assurance funded. Overall, the people of Rivers State will want to see these projects come to fruition, and the overriding implication is that it will help in advancing the economic process in Rivers.
All right, Lee, talking about the dividends of democracy, right? Good to see that the hope has been ignited. Thank you, Kingsley. Well, so from one project to another, this time let's get to Jigawa State, where Governor Umar Namadi says his administration remains committed for state development. Mohammed Musa Skira reports that the governor made this commitment during a working visit to Sule area. Multi-billion naira projects were inaugurated.
Umar Namadi commissioned projects in new road net design, transport tables, local primary healthcare facility to strengthen access to quality medical care, as well as a modern Sangha school, and laid the foundation for students' hostel at the school, providing conducive atmosphere for them to learn spiritual and modern education. The governor's visit also featured the Government Citizen Engagement Forum, the 23rd in the series, promoting direct dialogue between leaders and the people.
Deputy Senate President Barrow Jibrin and Minister of State for Education Suwaiba Hamid joined the event, commending the governor's developmental drive as a model of accountability, transparency, justice and fairness.
I call on others, when we are seeing what is going on in Jigawa, an unprecedented developmental drive going. We have seen this in 1 year. What about the 2 years? What about in the next 4 years? We are very lucky. For the school building program to resume in about 6 steps. And I want to tell you that out of the 6 steps, the president has graciously approved that Jigawa State should be included among the 6 steps. So it is, we are very grateful to Mr. President.
Governor Umar Namadi assured residents that his administration will sustain the delivery of people-oriented projects, building Jigawa into a model of inclusive and sustainable growth. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
All right, today is World Osteoporosis Day. It's a health condition that weakens the bones, make it early to break. So earlier we had a doctor in the house, a consultant, an orthopedics surgeon, and he had an insight for us on what to do to stay safe, healthy. Let's get an excerpt.
This is derived words to which means bone, and porosis, which means porous. So in essence, porous bone, that means weak bone. From when we are born until death, there's a dynamic equilibrium between bone mineral gain and bone mineral loss. By mineral, I mean particularly calcium. And the calcium is responsible for the strength of the bone. But from around the age of 29 or 30 years, that's the peak age of bone strength. Anything from that time, the bone loss outstrips the bone gain. And so the bone strength begins to go down. But at menopause, that loss becomes so drastic and it leads to weakness of the bone for women. And from around the age of 60 and above for men, the bones become weak. And when the bone is weak, it's prone to fractures. So minor falls that should not cause fracture ordinarily, if the bone is strong, now begins to be a...
So now you know one preventive way is through awareness. Take care of yourself. The introduction of solar lights in Zamfara State is a significant step towards enhancing public safety and reducing crime. Haliru Mohammed takes a look at the potential benefits of installing solar lights in communities across the state.
The installation of solar lights in various areas of Zamfara State is part of a comprehensive crime prevention strategy. Several communities in both rural and urban areas that have benefited from the project say it has brought numerous benefits to residents.
In fact, we are enjoying the light.
Gidan Medawa, an agrarian community in Gusau local government area, is one of the villages provided with a solar mini grid of more than 100 panels, thereby illuminating the area and creating a safe environment for its residents. The project, implemented by the Rural Electrification Agency, is to be used to boost agricultural production and enhance security. Residents pledged to protect and maintain the solar lights, as they also appealed for the extension of the installation to other areas of the state.
As a resident, we are very much very alert, as in being watchful over the maintenance, because we know the impact of these facilities.
Some other rural areas that has no net passes at all. It will be very good for them.
It is believed that the success of this project, when replicated in other parts of the state, will provide a safer and more secure environment for residents. In Gusau, Haliru Muhammad, NTA News.
Indeed, a new dawn for people of Gusau. So let's rejoin Haliru live now. Haliru, give us an update. You know, how this light, in your report, we saw it to aid security and, of course, boost farming in those communities. So we want to get more insight. Haliru.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Gusau, the Zamfara State capital. We have from the report we have just taken, we have understood that the importance of the installation of solar street lights cannot be overemphasized, especially in our communities that have been suffering from security challenges over the years. Now, the Rural Electrification Agency, which is an establishment of the federal government, has embarked on installation of solar systems in most communities, particularly in rural and urban communities. And from the testimonies we have received from residents, this system is working effectively in promoting security and reducing crime in our communities. So people are calling for the replication of this system across the state so that security can be improved and people can go about their businesses without any problem.
All right, Haliru, thank you so much for your time there. And I'm sure the people are indeed, elated over this development. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction is not just another institution, it is a lifeline to millions of Nigerians. These were the words of the Minister of State, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Tanko Yusuf Sununu, during a 2-day retreat on the performance management system organized for agencies and departments under its purview.
Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction contribute to the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President.
In its pursuit of national development, responding to humanitarian crisis, building resilience and ensuring no one is left behind, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction is redefining its performance index towards fulfilling its mandate and realigning with the priority agenda of the present administration. This sectoral retreat for agencies and departments under its purview is to stir collective efforts with focus on performance, purpose and progress, a new horizon for humanitarian affairs.
This meeting, after it also, we expect to develop a strong transparency and accountability framework that will help us in building the image of the ministry, to give us the better way of collaborating and introducing innovations so that our ministry will not be left behind in the desire of Mr. President for everyone to be carried along in discharge of the duty.
This is in accordance with the Mr. President directives, and it's going to raise the standard of performance in the civil service.
These years, expectations are high, with a responsibility to come up with a clear springboard of purpose through continuous dialogue and feedback mechanisms to bridge gaps and lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty. So time to head to Ibadan. Let's join Kemi. She'll bring us latest developments from her end. Hello, Kemi.
And a warm welcome to you. The month of October has been identified as the pink month in breast cancer, which has been identified as the most common among women all over the world. As part of effort to reduce the preventable death from breast cancer in underserved communities, stakeholders are drawn for increased awareness and timely screening for women in Oyo State. With the global reflection on breast cancer awareness in the month of October, on the State, Florence Ajimobi is raising support to increase survival outcomes of breast cancer cases through access to screening and early diagnosis. She noted that the experience of losing a family member to the scourge has become her motivation.
That painful experience has strengthened my resolve that no other family should have to go through such a loss when awareness, early detection, and timely care can make all the difference.
Commending the initiative, member House of Representatives Remi Oseni and other stakeholders lamented the low level of awareness and high cost of care, especially for rural dwellers.
I moved a motion of the Assembly calling the federal government to subsidize dialysis treatment and all cancer-related matters.
We know that cancer affects not only the patient, but the entire family, emotionally and economically. The presence of ABC Foundation in Oyo State has truly made a difference.
Women are to eat from free breast cancer screening for life-saving interventions and accurate health information in underserved communities.
The Nigeria Customs Service has called on Nigerians to support the federal government's ongoing efforts to smuggling of products out of the country. The Commander, Operation Whirlwind, Assistant Comptroller General Kolakbo Oladeji, made the appeal in Ibadan while auctioning about 14,000 litres of seized petrol to members of the public. Lukman Hassan has the details.
The Assistant Comptroller General of Customs and Operation Whirlwind, Kolakbo Oladeji, has described the exportation of products as a disservice to Nigeria's economic growth. He therefore urged citizens to support the federal government's effort aimed at curbing the smuggling of petroleum products across the country's border. Assistant Comptroller General Oladeji emphasized that the unit would not relent in its determination to rid the system of economic saboteurs and ensure that all illegal activities are brought to an end.
This interception is not just about a tanker or a quantity of fuel. It is about safeguarding our economy.
Some motor Nigerians who benefited from the auction of the seized petroleum products expressed appreciation to the Nigerian Customs Service for the initiative, describing it as timely and commendable.
Actually, that we used to make, but now that I've bought the fuel for a cheaper rate now, I know what I'm going to make will be much more now. I bought at the rate of 600 per litre.
I'm very, very happy. I say that the fuel is sent for us. We thank God to our President, Tinubu, to make God bless him.
Operation Whirlwind further assured that with the ongoing collaboration between the Nigerian Customs Service, the Office of the National Security Advisor, and other relevant agencies, the days of economic saboteurs are numbered. In Ibadan, Lukman has NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Nationwide will continue in Jos with Bilkisu after this timeout. Do stay with us.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national campaign is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira will be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green gardens, parks, and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. State category will have all states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House, Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
recorded gain reforms with a slowing down in inflation in focus on NTA Tuesday Live on the 21st October 2025. Join the deliberations as Nigeria bounces back to economic recovery, evident in food, drugs, and essential items becoming more affordable for all Nigerians. NTA Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. NTA Tuesday Live, educative and incisive as ever.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 50, 100, 200, and 500 naira.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Welcome to Skill Up Nigeria, Industrial Training Fund's television program celebrating innovation, craftsmanship, and the skilled hands shaping our nation's future. Join us and share in our over 50-year journey of empowering Nigeria's workforce and impacting the nation's human resources. Tune in and connect with experts and skilled workers sharing real stories that inspire. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. Skill Up Nigeria, powered by ITF.
Hospital Jos has full-scale clinical services to address issues associated with musculoskeletal challenges. Medical Director of the hospital, Professor Inale Goche, said this in Jos while speaking on their mandate. Indiang and Abagang reports.
Established in 2023, the National Orthopedic Hospital Jos is focused on providing excellent musculoskeletal health care to help patients regain mobility and live a pain-free life. To achieve these clinical services, the hospital has officially commenced operation in Jos. So far, the hospital has attended to 736 patients across all specialties, while 150 patients have been scheduled for surgery.
If without this hospital nearby us here, it's a difficult task to go to Kano, Ibadan, or Abuja.
I was treated well. Now I am waiting for them to take me to the theater for surgery. The medical director, Professor Icha Inale Onche, says the hospital has a well-equipped theater, medical laboratory for basic tests, accident and emergency units that can accommodate 5 emergencies at a time, male and female wards, with capacity to house 26 patients, a physiotherapy center, and pharmaceutical services, as well as outpatient services.
We jute on our side, and the national colleges, West Africa and National Presidential College, we need to put a few things in place here, and then we'll get at least partial accreditation. So by January next year, we hope to begin our residency training doctors first. Management
ended efforts of the President, the Federal Ministry of Health, Plateau State Government, and the National Assembly for establishing the orthopedic hospital that will serve North Central states of Nigeria in Jos. Indenyan and the Abajang, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. Is back with Fuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Bilikisu. And next to us here will be sports update.
Super Falcons captain Rasheedat Ajibade, along with sports enthusiasts, has encouraged Nigeria's Flamingos to move past their disappointing 4-1 loss to Canada in their opening match.
I believe our girls would bounce back, and since we have 2 matches to play that will make us qualify to the round of 16, we put hopes in them.
Nigeria will be looking to recover in their next group match on Wednesday to maintain their chances of advancing to the knockout rounds. Meanwhile, Team Nigeria showcased an outstanding performance at the 2025 World Powerlifting Championship in Cairo, Egypt, finishing second overall in the medal standings. The Nigeria did the championship with a total of 11 medals, 3 gold, 4 bronze, while claimed the top position with 15 medals, and host nation Egypt secured 3rd place. Elsewhere, the Edo State Sports Commission has made strides in enhancing the state sports scene by inaugurating the Arm Wrestling Association Board in Benin. This initiative brought together enthusiasts and athletes from 5 backgrounds engaged in a test of strength and skill, promoting the sports and encouraging community involvement.
I urge you to actively seek sponsorship opportunities that will sustain and propel the growth of your association.
And Nigeria's and Civil Defense Corps emerged as the overall winner of the 13th Korean Ambassadors Cup Taekwondo tournament held in Abuja, with Team Ogun and Team taking 2nd and 3rd places. With sports updates, Omoyeme Unobu, NTA.
And that concludes Nationwide. Thank you for being part of it. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.